ब्रह्मैवाहमिदं जगच्च सकलं चिन्मात्र विस्तारितं सर्वं चैतद अविद्यया त्रिगुणया अशेषं मया कल्पितम् इत्थं यस्य दृढा मतिः सुखतरे ये परे निर्मले चाण्डालोऽस्तु सद्विजोऽस्तु गुरुरित् एषा मनीषा मम. This again is Adi Shankara's Stotram. This is from Manisha Panchakam. Here he states, Brahmaivagamidam Jakachasikalam Chimatra Vistaritam. The whole universe is just pervaded or enveloped by consciousness or awareness. And if at all I do something, it's because of my own ignorance created by the three gunas. And who has this firm conviction and he is ever established in Brahman, he is my guru, whether he is born of the highest caste or the lowest caste. That's my conviction.
Thank you. Anyone wants to say anything about it or anything? Or any question? Or to report anything?
It's me.
Hello, Alice?
Yeah, hello. You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Okay, just a moment. Zoom is unable to detect camera.
That's okay.
Okay. I have a question. I do not have a feeling of peace when I am in the self yet. It makes me wonder if it's the ego that is presenting itself to be the self. I have tried to focus on the self a couple of times. On the self for a couple of months through meditation and just in everyday to-day situations. I experience a stronger desire to be with myself and are not so interested in the outer world. Before I would get up constantly because I got the thought that there was something I had to do. Still, I see the ego sneaking in every corner, but the thing is that I can see it clearly now.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. So is it just a statement or you are asking anything in particular about it?
I think what I'm curious about is if it is the ego or if it's the self that this feeling that I have is I thought it should be more peaceful, but it's not. It's if I focus on the heart, it's changing. So I just wonder, but I see that I am more still and I'm more happy, and that things are changing to the better. So I just wonder if, if there's something I'm missing.
No, I think what you are saying is quite right, and it is a process in a way, because we have lived our lives so much in the ego mode that I have to do this, I have to do that, and this and that and this. So when you start noticing this ego and you're witnessing it, and you know that you are nothing, we call it a witness or awareness, but actually it is that consciousness which is always there and which sees everything, knows everything. But we mix it up with our mind, all these bundle of thoughts. And we mix up this with all what we see, which comes from the life force, like a hologram in front of us. There is no harm in this hologram of the word and thoughts. But somehow we think we are this and we get affected. So understanding the one who gets affected by this all projection, the changing scenes, thoughts in the mind, thoughts with emotions, feelings, all this is fine. Like you go to see a nice movie and it has all this, but we still know that we are not in the movie and the movie cannot affect us. Quite similar to that happens right now. Because of our conditioning, we think we are part of this movie and this movie is affecting us. And all the parts of the movie are separate to us. This separateness is the problem, is the problem, because separateness gives rise to individuality, which competes, which judges, which likes, which dislikes. This separateness is the source of all sorrow. But the moment you give up this ego mode and witnessing, you feel more at peace, because no competition. Everything is part of the same consciousness. When we separate from I am the body idea, paradoxically we connect with everything. Because I am the body idea separates us from other bodies. When we realize I am not the body, we also realize simultaneously that no one is the body. Whether the person in the body believes it or not is not my concern. I am clear, I am awake. Now what he wants to think or believe or act through, that is his business. I all know that he is the same awareness. If he is still in this dream, believing in this dream, that is up to him. As a matter of fact, you will have intense love for all beings who wants to be awake or on the process of awakening. And you will have compassion, empathy for the one who are fully ignorant. And perhaps they also love their ignorance. You have no issues with them. Because the one who has to know that I am awake is always awake in everyone. It does not need self-realization. And the one who needs self-realization actually never existed. It is Brahm. We have to move from Brahm to Brahman. Brahm means illusion, doubt. And Brahman is, which is absolute, which is reality. All of us If we stay in Brahm, we will think we are bound and we have to suffer because we are bound to the body idea. But the moment we call this source within us, it has no sex, but you can call it mother, you can call it father, doesn't matter. It is that energy. When you call that energy by any name or have interest in it by staying still, it starts talking to you. And then it becomes so real that what appears real becomes illusion. Then it becomes the other way around. It becomes so real because it is you. It is not even concerned about peace or happiness or joy or bliss. It is not achieving that also by knowing that. On the other hand, I would say a lot of people who are awakened, their life, if you see from the point of view of a worldly person, is full of ups and downs. From the ego point, it is full of sorrow and lot of issues. But from the point of sage, he is in bliss. He is bliss, though he is not looking for bliss. Because we always judge others as what we think is important to us. For us, happiness is important, peace is important. So here also that ego actually creates doubt in our mind that though you can witness me, but where is that peace? Sometimes you are peaceful, sometimes you are not. Or perhaps there is in and out of this self. Because you can pick up any person in the world, one with the biggest ego, he also feels peace. Don't think peace is such a big matter. When he achieves something, he feels peaceful. What's a big deal? Ask people who have few drinks every day, they feel peace after having drinks. In deep sleep, we are peaceful. But it is something much different, much more profound than just peace or happiness. You become knower of everything, though you are nothing. As if all the doubts has disappeared because you have touched that essence. Which knows the truth. Because it is that truth. Now it has a voice. Right now it has a voice and it can speak. It has a mind, it has a body. It can try to convey that truth through gestures, language, teachings. Though it is not its job, it has not come to do that, but it loves. Because there are very less openings in beings through which truth can convey itself. So it never leaves any opportunity to convey itself. Sometimes it conveys for 6 months and the body drops. Sometimes it might convey for 100 years. You can call it prarabdha of the body, how long the body will survive. People say that even in sage, the body has to go through what it has to go through. Because body is on its own path, already predestined. But now the body is without owner of the body. So this is like last momentum of the body. No one is gaining from karmas or losing from karmas. Because it is not the body which gains from karmas or loses from karmas. Body one day dies. It becomes dust. It is that one which thinks I am the body. He holds on because he makes the body suffer in form of his own innate desires. When he is not there, then who can desire what? Then every action becomes nishkam, desireless. And every action is devoted to the Lord in heart, because that is the one. There is no one else. Even if you don't call it devoted to Lord, whom it is devoted? To people. People also have the same Lord. Only ego can devote work to other egos. But if there is Lord, it will devote work to the Lord only. It will do the work of Lord only. Brahman only sees Brahman. So even when you try to help somebody, some being, you are helping God. You are helping that self within you. Self is helping self. So who is other there? This is such a profound truth once you have known within you. Your all journey stops and you wonder why the body is still going on. Because when we talk about purpose of life, meaning of life, for ego, purpose and meaning can be different for different people. But in absolute terms, the purpose is to come back home, to know reality that this is dream. You might still have an agenda and things, but the moment you realize that this all is just a dream, everything loses importance. In a play, you make a hut or you make castles or palaces. How does it matter? At the end, the body becomes dust. So body does not claim that I have achieved anything. It only appears that I have done it. That is what the ego speaks, the one who thinks I am the body. But the moment it goes away, all actions drop. then the actions are left because they are supposed to be happening. Till there is body, there will be some action. Even Bhagavan used to go for a walk, used to help in the kitchen, used to talk to people. Body has its own limitations. But he never claimed that he is living on an Arunachala hill to help others. There is no intention. There is no preacher. There is only sharing of the joy in silence or in satsang or in talk or in meeting people. Bhagavan was in body. He cleared so many people's doubt. Sitting in his presence, people felt peace. But when the body goes away, we have no one to ask to clarify doubts. Though that self is within us, but sometimes Guru comes manifest in a body to help us. When we talk about whether we really need a Guru, yes, everyone needs a Guru. When we need a teacher for mundane jobs, why not in knowing the reality? And the best Guru is in our heart, who only guides us. When the ego starts melting, it melts away. You become more malleable, more acceptable, more softer. Then that knowledge unfolds. Both processes occur simultaneously. It can never ever occur in a rigid person, an arrogant person, an egoistic person. Though everyone has an ego, but the grade of ego is also different. And sometimes just one incident can even melt ego. It has happened so many times in so many people's life. And so we call it grace. Whenever we have doubt whether we are there or still not there, or I still feel sometimes unhappy, continue your tapas, continue your practice. What harm is in continuing practice even if you are there? No harm. Practice will drop on its own. Sometimes some practices never drop till last breath. Like people who do japa. Japa continues night and day. You can say, what is the need of japa? Tool should be dropped when you have achieved results. But somehow, sometimes it continues. When I am Brahman, then what is need to bow down in front of picture of Bhagavan? But that's what it is. If you see in reality, every picture is your picture. Everything which you have reverence for is your own self. manifest itself in all those beings whom you respect and love. And that's none other than you. Stop identifying yourself with the action of the body. Or start identifying with action of everyone as you. Both can free you. Because if you identify yourself as action of everyone, then which thought will support whom? And you will attain silence. This silence we all attain at night in our deep sleep. We also attain this silence when some intense desire is just fulfilled. We also attain this silence when we are moving from waking to sleep or coming from sleep to waking. And we also attain this silence in our samadhi, in our deep meditative state. And those spurts of this attainment of self becomes eternal, natural, when our intention is there, rather than activities in the world and what is happening. Give away all intentions. Nishkam Karma Yoga. Desireless, and see, still you are full of work. Keep your eyes on the self. When we look within, we can't go beyond it. Buck stops here on self. Enjoy your own bliss all the time. Completely forgetful to all activities, as if the mind is not there, as if every moment is fresh, as if you are meeting people for the first time. People keep clicking pictures, make videos, write diaries, talk to people. We did this at this age and then did this. And we try to revive those memories all the time, even our grudges, our interaction with people. We stay in past and we try to create future from that past. There is no past, no future. There is nothing like this. It's only in the mind. There is only one thing, which is this moment. There is no future moment and there is no past moment. A clock, a calendar just gives you this illusion. What you are never changes. It does not know any time. It is beyond time. And it has no requirements. No shelter, no food, no insurance, no guarantee. Whatever you do from morning till night, let others think that you do. But you should be very clear that you are not doing anything. It's the role body is playing and it's happening. More you detach from the body, more you attain to silence within you. Hardly any thought coming to you. You realize things just happens. As if some power is allowing the body to act in a way or things to happen in a way. And you have no problem with that. Only ego has problem. And the problem is because body is controlled by its own way. It's an auto mode. But the one who thinks I am the body tries to drive this vehicle in his own way. And he gets upset when it's not going the way he or she wants. When this illusory person disappears, then the body behaves the way Paramatma has ordained. Be the devotee of self. Self is the one which is desireless. Self is bliss. The biggest test of self is that it never asks anything from anyone for any reason. Self doesn't know how to do business. It only knows one business, business of love, unconditional love. It gives love and love for hate also. It can only give what it has. It has nothing else. It can never have enemies. And it cannot hate anything. And because of that, it feels bliss all the time. Supreme bliss. Self has not to accomplish something to attain bliss. Not that if it does mantra japa or do some devotional work or puja or ritual, then it will attain peace. But it can do that if it has to happen. But it is unbound from any ritual. Self does not belong to any religion. It has no religion. I would suggest another very good thing. Some people talk that we get bored if we are staying alone or if we are not doing any action. And to kill this boredom, they do all stupidities. Try to keep themselves busy. For a seeker, he should try to keep himself or herself free as much as it's possible. From people, from things, from activities. And face that boredom if he gets bored. Go beyond that boredom. Go into that blissful solitude where the best companies of the self, where the best love is attaining that self and staying in that. Satsang is to remind that truth, that solitude will get you there. One amazing thing happens when you abide in pure self. Somehow, some power does everything perfectly. And then you realize that all the credit which mind was taking for planning and acting was just sheer stupidity. That was just an illusion created by ego. Be in that total acceptance. I'll give you an example of acceptance by the sage Murugnar. Murugnar wrote beautiful poetry on Bhagavan. There were more than 2,000 verses. And it was beautiful because there were things in which he's talking to Arunachala, is complaining that why you treated this young boy so badly, like he had nothing to wear. You took away his clothes, money, no food or scanty food. And then he was talking from Arunachala to show to the world that my devotee doesn't need anything except me. And you know what happened? This script someone was taking to Madras and lost on a railway station. Everything was stolen away. And there was no other copy. It never published. Murugnar could have written it again, but he said this is what it has to happen, so it's all good. That absolute decides what goes through print or which doesn't go through print, what people should know, what people should not know. But that was his own bliss in which he wrote Swanta Sukhai. He was happy about writing it. Keep your energy there. Not in what next, what next. Without constant instructions of the mind, actions of the body become so smooth and beautiful. Trust yourself, your pure self. Wandering mind full of thoughts is the only obstacle, nothing else. And wandering mind with thoughts is only serving ego. Ego gone, there is no work for mind. It merges in the self. Give this life for your awakening, but nothing else. And whatever time left after awakening, let it be. If you have come up to this, then finish the task. Don't be there at coming and going. Sometimes I feel peaceful and then the peace goes away and then the peace comes. Sometimes I'm a witness, sometimes I'm an ego. Establish yourself firmly. If this is happening, give more energy, more attention to it. Ask for help from self. Understand it is not an intellectual understanding that you know the characteristics of the self and then you will be self. If someone teaches like that one or two pointers you grasp and it's done, like fast food, then forget it. If it happens that instantaneously, that means there was some sadhana. You were already so mature. If you have not gathered dust in this life, stayed at innocent and naive, yes, it will happen like this. But if you have gathered some dust, then it will take some time, but it will happen. So keep your attention here. If attention doesn't stay in your heart, then ask for help from the self. Mix more with seekers than worldly people. Even with worldly people, keep your attention here, in your heart. With constant perseveration, practice drops, because it is our natural state and it's irreversible. It's one way. Till we say it is coming and going, it is actually still in ego mode. with some openings and then closure. When you enter into the heart, it is one way. When the mind merges in heart, it is irreversible. Mind which merges in the heart needs some purity. Almost all seekers can identify their ego. That is almost like half battle won, because now you know what is the problem. Now just start staying away from it. Don't give any energy to ego. And then what is left will be you only. Like we clean our body every day, we have a shower, put soap. This is internal cleansing. When the ego melts away, then you touch your untainted pure self. How bad our karmas are, or how bad as a person we are, it doesn't affect that pure self. That is why in spiritual spheres, we never say that I am a sinner. Because self can never be a sinner. Self is only a witness, non-doer. In one way, I believe it is right. Ego is a sinner. And the biggest sin ego has done is it has started its own kingdom. It's to worship. Once you have knack of this silence within you, hold on to it. This silence is so deafening that all thoughts will dissolve in it. It is so powerful. It burns away all thoughts, all desires, all vasanas. It's like an inner explosion. When it happens, it just finishes everything. It does everything for you. You have to be just devotee of it. Sing its praise, love it, respect it, pay attention to it. What is faith? What is belief? Belief is when actually it's not in you, but you know it is and someone has told you, and it then will happen to you. It's not a blind faith, because people who have traveled the path, when they tell you that it is there, keep going, then someone has already tread that path. They're telling from experience. And even before you reach, you start feeling that peace, that bliss. That is our signpost. Thank you, everyone.
So beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.